Great. Perfect. All right, folks. Yishai Fleischer here. I'm out in the forest in Judea. God bless you wherever you are. Today, I want to talk about what's going on with President Trump, because that's the biggest issue. Everybody's talking about what's going on with President Trump. Is he turning against Israel? Is he turning against Netanyahu? He's receiving some kind of giant airplane from the Qataris. $400 million, a gift from Qatar, who hates America, hates Israel, sponsors Hamas, sponsors Al Jazeera, which day in, day out preaches anti-Semitism, anti-Israelism, and yes, anti-Americanism. He made some kind of deal with the Houthis to stop attacking the Houthis. There's reports that there's an effort to make a deal with Iran and to get to some kind of, yes, nuclear enrichment, like the JCPOA, like the old agreement that Obama tried to make. Now President Trump is trying to make an agreement with Iran. I thought he said we should destroy Iran, the Iranian regime. We should stop their nuclear ambitions. But looks like things are changing a little bit. There's other deals in the works. He's flying to Saudi Arabia and he's skipping Israel. So there's all this hubbub in Israel and around the world. Oh my God, President Trump has changed his mind about Israel. He's changed his mind about Netanyahu. And we know that there's been tension between Trump and Netanyahu in the past. So is that now coming to a head? What's really going on? Is President Trump not the president that Israel was hoping for? Is this the evangelical dream of a return to the Bible and America supporting the biblical state Israel? What's really going on here? So everybody's uptight, everybody's upset. I think the answer is very simple. I think you got to remember who President Trump is. He's a deal maker. He himself is not an evangelical Christian, okay? He's made a lot of business deals with Jews. His daughter is a Jew. He's pro-Israel, pro-Jewish, no doubt about it. But he's at heart, at core, he's a deal maker. And a few months ago, he turned to Prime Minister Netanyahu and he said, Yalla, which means go for it. Take over Gaza. Destroy the jihad. Destroy the Hamas. Rain hell on them. Open the doors, the gates of hell on the jihadists and the bad guys. Do that. And then also start to evacuate the Arabs from there. They can't live there anymore. They got to go somewhere else. You got to push them out. That's what he's saying. Then he released even a video of a kind of Trumpian Gaza vision of it being the south of France or Monaco, and it's this beautiful place with towers. And he's like, and he says publicly, he's like, why did Israel ever give it away? I don't even know. That was so stupid. And then he says, we could turn this into the Riviera of the Middle East. We got to do something about it. The first thing to do is get rid of the bad guys. And he turns to Prime Minister Netanyahu and he says, Habibi, buddy, green light, yalla, get going, get rid of the jihad, fight them, destroy them, have no mercy on them, and I'll back you up. Wink, wink, green light, get to work, get the bad guys out of the scene. But what happened was something that I was concerned about, I and my friends as well. Exactly what we were worried about is exactly what happened, which is Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel could not match the pace of President Trump. I knew from the get-go that there's no way that Netanyahu would have the wherewithal, the guts, the speed, the ability, the political clout in order to start evacuating the Gazans out of Gaza. He was just never going to do it. Was he going to rain hell on the Hamas? No, he was not going to do that. And the whole excuse that Biden is stopping him from making war on the Gazans, it was just an excuse. The truth is, Prime Minister Netanyahu never had a vision for taking over Gaza. He never had a vision for evacuating millions of Gazans. It was never in the cards. And the minute President Trump said that, I was like, oh my God, we're in trouble. And the reason we're in trouble is because we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Prime Minister Netanyahu simply doesn't have that kind of stuff. He is not a big change maker. He knows how to make a beeper attack. He knows how to make tactical warfare, but a strategic change, it's not in the cards. The truth is that Prime Minister Netanyahu was one of the architects of Gaza under the hands of Hamas. He funneled money into Hamas. He funneled money from Qatar to Hamas. He voted for the disengagement, i.e. kicking out the Jews from Gaza. That's the truth. And he also allowed Hamas to build up the military machine that later attacked Israel on October the 7th. He was never going to now change his skin totally after October 7th and get rid of the Gazans and, make Gaza either America or Israel. He just wasn't ready for that. He was going to make little tactical warfare, not big changes, keep it kind of bumbling from the middle, no big revolutions, and that's his MO. Now, what happens to President Trump? President Trump is like, I'm making a deal with you, right? The deal is you, Israel, are going to be the big boy on the block. You, Israel, are going to be the security envelope of the region. You're going to be the security contractor. You're going to be like America in the region. You're going to be the big boy on the block. You're going to carry a big stick. You're going to be the one that rules this region, right? Here you go, green light. That's the deal. Oh, you don't want to make that deal? That's what Netanyahu was signaling to him. I don't want the deal. I'm not interested in that. Oh, so President Trump says, okay, you don't want the deal. You want something else. You don't want to deal with me. That means I'm going to go make a deal with somebody else. I'll make a deal with Turkey. They're big boys around here. They want to take control of this region. They could promise me that they'll control this region, give peace and quiet. Oh, the Qataris, those guys are strong. They know how to deal with me. They know how to treat me right. They know how to be strong. I'll make a deal with them. The Yemenis, we can make a separate deal with them. Oh, the Iranians, we can make a deal with them. In the absence of Israeli strength, fortitude, clarity, and strong, clear policy, the deal is not made. So Trump goes somewhere else, makes a deal with the other folks. He makes a deal with the other folks. Sorry, I got to take care of this fire. That's exactly the issue. You got to take care of the fire. You got to lead around here. And so President Trump is doing what a deal maker does, what a businessman does. He's going to where business happens. You don't want to make a deal with me. You don't want to make a trade with me. You don't want to take my advice. You don't want to take my leadership. You want to be small and sissy-ish and wimpy-ish. Okay, so then I'll go to the folks who want big chunks and to control. Okay, where does this all come from in Prime Minister Netanyahu's mind? Why isn't he listening to President Trump? Why isn't he taking that chunk of leadership that the Middle East so desperately craves from Israel? Why not? Well, it goes into the heart of the sociology of the Israeli mind. The truth is that Israel puts on a certain show of brash and bravado, and we have great soldiers and a lot of courage. But at the guts of Israel is a kind of ghetto state, a ghetto mentality. And what I mean by ghetto, I'm not trying to use that ad hominem. I'm not trying to say like they're ghetto Jews. I mean, ghetto means I want to live in my small compound or complex. I want to be defended. I don't want to take control of the region. I don't want to rule other people. That's the way Israelis think. They're like, look, we're here in the Middle East, but we're used to, from the last 2,000 years, of living in ghettos and small things. We just want to protect ourselves. We just want to go to our mall. We just want to shop in our bourgeois places. We don't really want control of other people. And if you talk to Israelis, they'll say to you many times, we don't want to control other people. It's a small country mindset, not a big country. And Israel's been under attack. To be fair, Israel's been under attack for many years, and it's had no partners and no rights to be the leader of the region. So when the moment comes to be the leader of the region, when Syria is not Syria anymore, when Egypt is not Egypt anymore, when Jordan's not Jordan anymore, and everybody needs Israel to be the big boy in the block, we're not mentally ready for it. We just want to be a small country, safe, defended, living in our place. We don't want to lead the Middle East. So when Trump comes and he says, hey guys, lead the Middle East, this is your moment, the answer is no thanks. We don't want to be the big boys on the block. That's part of the Netanyahu psychology, part of the Israeli psychology, and it's not easy to overcome 2,000 years of training that you're a little ghetto Jew, you're a little small Jew in your ghetto. To lead the Middle East is not so simple. So that, to me, is the explanation of what's happening with Trump. He's just going to make deals somewhere else. That's also the explanation of the problem of Israel. Israel needs to grow up. Israel needs to take the next step. Israel needs to change its self-image from a small survival ghetto country to a leader in this region. That's what the Abraham Accords was about. Israel, you're strong. We need your leadership. We need you to push back on Iran. We need you to push back on jihad, push back on Hamas, push back on the Muslim Brotherhood, push back on Al-Qaeda, and on ISIS, and on Turkey, and on Iran. Push back, be the big boy. Then the Saudis are like, you're a big boy. We need you. We need you for business, prosperity, and we need you also for defense. In the absence of that kind of attitude, a small Israel is no good. It's just a little hamlet. It's like the Alawites or the Yazidis. It's just a small little country. Yes, it has a strong army. Yes, it's got jets, but it doesn't know how to use them to create a Middle East envelope of security. It's not into that. It doesn't understand that. It's not in that kind of headspace. Well, then there's others. There's Erdogan, and there's Khomeini, and there's the other big boys that want to play big and strong. So my prayer for Israel is be big and strong. It's time. It's time. The Lord has given us the opportunity to be big and strong. And there's a President Trump out there, and he recognizes our ability to be big and strong. But President Netanyahu, Prime Minister Netanyahu, you have to either change, wake up, and be big, or you got to leave because you're not with the times. Israel's got to be a big country, a leader in this region, and that's the shift that has to happen. And if not, then we're going to miss a golden opportunity, which is not going to come around. And jihadism, Qatarism, Iranianism, Yemenite, Houthism, all that is going to rise up. And Israel shrinks on the global scale. Israel already has shrunken so much in international consciousness. Ever since October the 7th, the jihad has been big and strong, and it's got its claims out there, and it's victorious. And the only moment that we had of victory was that beeper campaign. That's the way we should be the whole time. Be big, be strong, be bold. And people will love you. People will respect you. People will respect the big Israel brand, the biblical brand, the awesome, badass Jew brand. People respect that. Small Israel, little cuddly, good, moral in its little boundaries. Little tiny Israel that talks a lot about the hostages and a lot about the pain that we suffered on October 7th. A Jewish country that feels a lot of victimization and talks a lot about it. Here's our Holocaust memorial. Here's our October 7th memorial. See us, we're victims. Nobody likes that Israel. Nobody likes that kind of Israel. People want to see a strong, big, bold Jewish state. One that has leadership around here. And not weakness, sissiness, wimpiness, victimized. Forget it. It doesn't sell. And basically, President Trump is telling you what the temperature of the world is. Oh, you don't want to be the leader? I'll go somewhere else. Israel, don't miss this golden opportunity. Push back on the jihad. Win the respect of the world. Win the respect of President Trump. Get big, get strong, and there'll be regional peace. Just because Israel is a bigger, stronger country. It'll be good for the world and certainly good for Israel. We must not miss this opportunity. All right, folks, I got to get back to this fire. All right, make sure that it's a big, strong, and beautiful fire here. Me and the kids, we got to have a good time out here. And I want to bless you wherever you are to be strong, bold, and beautiful. Please check out all of our efforts and support us by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that little bell. Help us get over 250,000 subscribers on our YouTube page, Yishai Fleisher TV. And don't forget to check out our new store with cool stuff, with cool swag, in which you will be able to be an indigenous Judean. And you'll be able to fight for Israel. Fightforisrael.org is our website for supporting our programming and our efforts to spread Torah, our beautification of holy sites, and the belief in a big, strong, bold Israel. Big, bold, and badass. That's the way it has to be. And that's under Hashem. He's the one that gives us strength. It's not from here. It's from there. It's from heaven that God gives us strength. And he says, be bold, beautiful, badass, and take care of the bad guys. Spread that Torah throughout the world. God bless you folks wherever you are. Lots of love and lots of blessings from the land of blessings. And shalom.